sort of rare phenotype gene. And so she is very rare.
Yeah.
She had a calf this year, and her calf looked just like a normal elk. So
Oh, wow.
Her offspring doesn't necessarily look like that.
Oh.
Good job with spreading out the feed there. So these are Roosevelt elk. Roosevelt elk, named after Teddy Roosevelt. They're native to this part of the state, and their range stretches primarily on the western part of the Cascades, all the way from British Columbia down to Northern California. There's other species of elk in Oregon. Rocky Mountain elk inhabit the eastern part of the state, as well as kind of the whole Intermountain west, so Yellowstone and the Tetons. You would find Rocky Mountain elk. The Roosevelt elk are a little bit bigger than the Rocky Mountain elk. They're taller, they have longer legs, and their antlers are a little bit narrower. Maybe don't have quite the mass. And you know, you wouldn't think it being out here in this meadow, but if you get up in the woods here, it is a jungle. And I've been up putting wildlife refuge signs up to keep the hunters out, and I don't know how the elk get through there, frankly. And I think with the longer legs and the narrower antlers, it allows them to get through the brush better.
Where are these bulls in their antler cycle? Where are they?
I'll talk about that. Let's talk about the babies first.
Okay.
So the little guys are called calves, and they were born in June, so last June. So they're coming up on 9 months old or so. The cows, the mamas, are the little bit bigger elk without any antlers. The cows are bred during the rut, which is usually at the end of August to early October. The cows have a gestation period of about 9 months, similar to a human. And the cows can live anywhere from maybe 2 to 14 years old. And they live longer than the bulls. The bulls have a lifespan of about 7 to 10 years. And part of that is the cows they feed during the spring and summer, basically to either carry a calf or to prepare to have a calf, whereas the bulls feed during the spring and summer to gain body mass to go into the rut. And when they go into the rut, they lose tremendous amount of energy because they're sparring and fighting, and they can lose supposedly 20% of their body mass just during that period. So they basically go into the winter in much worse shape than the cows.
It's like they were just fighting. A couple of them kicked up their hooves
Yeah,
there for a second.
The calves weigh about 30 pounds when they're born, and so these calves probably weigh close to 250 pounds now.
Wow.
30 pounds when they're born, you say?
Yeah. Somebody asked about the antlers, so let's see if we can
There's
find
3 or 4.
I'm looking for a spike. You see one,
Yeah?
just one?
Oh, just one?
Yeah.
One right in front of us to the left. So that bull is probably a year old, a year and a half old. They grow their first set of antlers at 1 year old, and then at 2 years old and beyond, they start to get the branch antlers. So a 2-year-old could actually have 2-point, 3-point, 4-point antlers on each side.
Do they shed those?
Yeah, so the antlers will shed in March, and they immediately start to regrow.
And so when they shed them, they shed the singles, and then when they regrow, they actually grow more the second time?
Correct, their second year on.
So this guy over here is probably
He's probably 2 years old.
2 years old.
Yeah, just looking at kind of the size of the antler.
Mm-hmm.
And how old's this 4 or 5 point over here
Could be
at 2
2 years,
o'clock?
3 years old.
Really, with that
Yeah,
many points?
He'd be an immature bull.
Wow.
He's hanging out in this herd, and you'll see when we get down to the next field, he doesn't want to be around the big guys. Certainly not during the rut. The Roosevelt elk are very homogeneous. These elk probably don't stray more than 5 miles from this area where they were born. Some of the younger bulls, during the rut, get pushed out of the herd and go look for another herd.
Oh, wow.
And they may not come back to the refuge. And here's the blonde. You asked about the blonde. You see the blonde
Yeah.
cow right in front of us. She was born in 2007. Her name's Blondie. She's kind of a people that take the tour over and over. That's the first thing is Blondie still here? And she seems to be doing pretty well.
That's good.
She had a calf this year. I don't know which is her calf.
Now, did you guys do a blood test on her to know their genes, or do you just know
No,
by?
she's got. They've gotten up close. The biologist has gotten up close to her. She's not albino because she actually has pigment to her.
Okay.
She's got a brown nose and she's actually got blue eyes.
Wow.
Predators. Somebody said, I think one of the young men on here thought he saw a coyote. During the cows will have the babies not here in the fields. They'll be up in the brush to try to keep the calf hidden once it's born, to try to increase the survival rate. The first 2 months of their life, the calves, probably cougar, bear, coyote, maybe a bobcat could be a predator for them. But after about 2 months, these calves are too fast and too strong. About the only thing that could take them down is a cougar.
Oh, not even a bear, huh? Just a cougar?
I don't think at this point bears aren't fast enough. And then they'll herd up,
Yeah.
and just the strength in numbers kind of keeps.
Do they rally to the aid of a calf or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
There's
potential victim?
It looks like a calf right straight out in front of us. It looks like he's got a lot of hair on his back. Are they shedding?
I don't know. It's just the different.
See how
Yeah.
hair, tall it is?
Keep looking
He's
for-
iced over.
There's a spike in here that wasn't doing very well, and I don't see him.
That one calf you're looking at, Mom, he's covered in ice. He's got frost all over him. So he was.
So
So what is it genetically that they all want to have, that they have the long fur around their necks and nowhere else?
it's just the way
I mean,
must be
What-
for
what-
warmth or something.
because you were talking about taller and thinner horns to get through the brush. Is there some genetic advantage to having?
It's a good question. I don't know. It's evolved
Yeah.
for
I mean, so there
probably
must
some
be
sort of survival.
there's some reason why it's